Something just came to me that I want to use to back up my previous video about, what was it? Black folks are too emotional. I want to give y'all an example and the experience that I went through because of my color. It wasn't a racism because it wasn't really white people that I was going to buy this furniture from. It was me being black. And me being black in this situation was in reference to not having money, not the color of my skin. Because this was downtown Brooklyn. If y'all remember Jennifer Convertibles downtown Brooklyn on Livingston, I'm not sure whether it's still there or not. But my father had died, and when he died, before he died, my uncle, his brother, went through the whatever procedures that needed taking care of business that was needed for me to beneficiary his money. He worked for the city, right? He worked for housing. So I was entitled to his pension and his retirement check, right? So upon getting the money, I began to fix up my place, right? And if anybody's thinking, well, why didn't you buy a car? Well, I did try and made an effort of getting this car, but all odds was against me. But that's another story time. So now, I went and got my girlfriend, and this is girl, let me explain this. It's my girlfriend as a friend that I've known for many years, not a girlfriend that I'm dating, okay? Let me clarify that for FBI agent be saying, oh my God, the evangelist is going, oh, she's gay. The devil is a liar. So now, okay, with that being said, so I got her and I told her to come with me because I'm going to buy me some Jennifer convertible furniture. For years of my life, I told myself that if I ever come into money, I was going to buy me some Jennifer convertible furniture. So I goes into Jennifer convertible, me and my girlfriend, we go in. When we walk in, the gentleman meets me at the door, say, how can I help you? I said, I would like to buy some furniture. So he said, okay. Do you have any particular furniture you want? Do you have any particular color that you're looking for? So, I don't know. Maybe I was about, let me see. My father died 90. I like to put my age in things so you'll understand my mind frame at the time. My father died 1994. So I was born 63, 73, 83. So I was 20. No, I wasn't. I was no 21. I was born 1963, 73, 83, 93. I was 31 years old. I was going to say, No, I was 31 years old when he died. So I didn't have nobody to be my consultant of how to spend this money that I received. So I went in there, me and my girlfriend. The gentleman said, okay, you know what kind of furniture you want, da, 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 da. So I told him, he said, what kind of carpet you have on your floor? Do you have carpet? I said, yes. He said, what's the color of the carpet? So I told him, I said, it was like a pinstripe with different multicolors. So he took me to the furniture that was in the window. And the furniture was an eggshell. It was actually 3-piece, right? The rug on the floor, and it had It had the table. It was a glass table. And it had the nightstands. I'm trying to think if I got the nightstands. Yeah, I think I got the whole set. The only thing I didn't get was the rug. So me and my girlfriend sat on, he said, try it out. Now, one of the chairs that was there was a recliner, right? And the other chair was a chair you sit in, like a regular, I wouldn't know what you call that, but it got a name. Every piece of furniture got a name. But I can't tell you what the name of that furniture was, that chair was. So it was a bed. It was a pull-out bed. Back then, in the 90s, pull-out beds was, kind of like in every furniture. They hard to find now because futons and all this other stuff, day beds, all this took the place. Okay. So he said, well, what you think about this? So I looked, I said, oh. And my grandmother had already told me don't get no light furniture having kids. So I was telling him, I said, I don't know about this. I said, I was told not to get a light furniture. So they said, okay, but you can get it and you can cover it, so it won't get messed up. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. So, your mother up?
She went in her second home.
Okay, when she come back and tell her to give me some more food, please.
Okay.
All right, thank you. So, I was like, okay. So, I'm looking in, so I asked my girl, I said, what you think about this? And she was like, Sharon, this is nice. So we asked the man how much it was. I think it was like $2,500 or something like that. Please, $2,500. That was like water under the bridge. That didn't even put a dent in the amount of money that I had. Like, don't come over here trying to get me because I ain't got no money now. No, baby, don't mind y'all. I'm tired. So when I get tired, I get to laughing and acting crazy. So don't be trying to hack my what you call it? My channel to find out where I live. I'm here to tell you I ain't got no money, all right? I'm living in the Bronx in a managed building. I ain't even got my own house. All right, so don't come looking for me. So, okay, anyway. So I was like, oh, okay. So her name was Pearl. So Pearl was like, dang, Sharon, $2,500? She said, that's a lot of money. I started laughing. She said to me, what you laughing at, girl? She said, what? You got that? Because she didn't know. She didn't know that the money had came through. I had went to the bank and deposited some money and put money in CDs and gave my grandmother a credit card and, put some money in her house. I done did my deed. That much of the deed. I did more after that. But, so I felt like I could splurge a little, right? So, the man said $2,500. So I was like, I play like I ain't had. I said, oh. They said, yeah. I said, but we can always go and find you something. I said, excuse you. I want this. He said, you want it? That's like the story I said when the people ask you what's your credit score and you say 100. You say 800. And they be like, a black person? 800 score? Get out of here. So I told him, I said, no problem, I want it. So the guy that was waiting on me, he was black. Right? So he said, okay. He said, all right. He said, you want everything? I said, I want everything. He said, all right, let's write it up. Let me go and do the paperwork, right? I went on, did the paperwork, right? Here come the problem. He comes to me and says, his supervisor comes to me. He said, oh, so you like the furniture, huh, Miss Jordan? I said, yes, I do. He said, so you gonna buy it? See, I'm naive. You know, I'm not naive. I'm not thinking no different than nobody. I ain't even thinking that they thinking anything against me. I'm just, like having casual conversation. I'm about to get my furniture that I wanted for years in my house, right? Couldn't wait to sit on it. Ooh, I was feeling that Jennifer convertible furniture. His manager come out, so you like the furniture? Yes, I do. He said, do you have any ID? I'm saying to myself, what do you need my ID for? So I said, what you need my ID for? He said, well, we like to run a credit check, see if you can get a credit. I said, I ain't saying nothing about no credit. Oh, you don't want to try to finance it? No. No, I don't. And Pearl was like, Sharon, let them try to finance it. Nope, I ain't financing nothing. I said, I'm paying for it full. They said, you pay. See, I didn't think to go take out money. I just had the money in a checking account. I had a card. I had checks. So that's what I was going to do. Back then, checks was the thing. They didn't too much have bank cards. I think you had to had the account for a while before you get a bank card. You didn't get a bank card real fast back in the 90s. So they give you checks. So I told the man, he said, okay. He said, how you paying for it? I said, I am paying by check. He said, oh, by check. So we really need your ID. So I understood that. I said, okay. So it was like now and about, because I worked, where I worked. I think I worked for the parks or something. Or private. I can't remember, but I worked somewhere. So they was like, okay. So he said, all right, we have to check out. I said, all right, go check it. I'm like, go check it. Because I knew I had the money. I had more than enough. And I knew that everything was legal. It wasn't like I was trying to get over. It wasn't like I stole, the typical thing people think of black people. That's what them black people was thinking. Now, the manager was black. He was light-skinned, but he was black. It just goes to show that black people think different of black people, too. Not only other nationalities. So now, they go and they stay a long time. Me and Pearl is like, oh, this is ridiculous. And she's like, Sharon, come on, let's go. I said, no. I said, I want my furniture. But they taking too long. This don't make no sense. So then the guy came out and he said it's the guy that was waiting on me, not the manager. He came out and he started talking about his manager. He said, you know what? He said, I'm so sorry. He says, my manager, he thinks the check is a fraud. And he's trying to contact the bank. But as we all know that the bank closes at 5 o'clock. So they done had me there like forever. So I said, all right. I said, just give me the check and give my ID. And they said, no. He was like, no, 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 Miss Jordan. I'm going to talk to my boss. He said, don't worry, don't worry. He said, we're going to get this furniture out to you. Right? So we waited another hour. Seemed like 10 hours. Finally, they came out with the check. They put the check. The manager, I could tell by the manager's face that he didn't want to give me the furniture. But since I wrote the check out for $2,500, because they were saying you could leave a deposit, and I said, nope, I'm paying in full. I'm paying for my furniture so that everything will get delivered, and I ain't got no problem. When I walked in there and was talking to the person that was helping me, and I asked him when the delivery will be, he said delivery was going to be the next day. Mr. Supervisor man come back and talk about I had to wait a week. So I'm looking at the man. I said, a week, huh? I said, why I gotta wait a week? He said, we gotta wait to the check clear. I said, don't take no week for no check to clear. He said, well, for this amount of money it do. I said, no, it doesn't. I said, I had that account for a while. Well, I ain't had it for years, but I had it for a while. And I have written out checks before, and the check clear, if anything, within 2 to 3 business days. Where's you getting a week from? Well, Miss Jordan, that's how long we gotta wait. That's our policy. I said, all right, whatever. And the guy that was helping me was like standing behind him. He said, don't worry, I got you. Me and Pearl was laughing. I said, if only his supervisor knew what he was doing behind his back. He was like throwing up bunny ears. I said, you need to stop. When his supervisor went back in the back, I said, why you do that? He said, because he give all our people problems. Like he ain't our people. So I eventually, everything went. Actually, I didn't have to wait a week. The bank cleared the check, I think the next day, and they came and delivered it the next day. So not only did I have problems that, I went to y'all remember A&S? Right? Now niggas was white people. I don't know, maybe A&S is owned by white culture. I went to A&S. I don't know if y'all remember. In A&S, I didn't know it until I went in there. And I asked whoever the people was, receptionist, whoever, I asked them, do they sell furs? Now, y'all, whoever don't like furs, y'all don't have to listen to this. Y'all can move on to another video and click like. Oh, baby, I'm tired. So I asked them, I said, do you sell furs? And they said, yes, we do. It is on the 6th floor, right? So the shopping goes up to, I think, the 3rd floor. So I was like saying to myself, 6th floor, do I want to go up there? It remind me of a movie, you know, you go up there, you get up there, ain't nothing up there. So I was like, well, let me go. So when I went up to the 6th floor, sure enough, there was nothing up there. It was like business. It was like offices, right? And I was like, okay, so somebody met me and asked me, can I help you? I said, yes. I said, I was told to come up here about some furs. And they looked at me, black lady want a fur? I said, what you want to buy? Are you coming to pick up? You got one in storage. I said, no, I'm coming to buy. I said, oh, y'all do storage? I said, yeah. It was like the lady was reluctant to tell me anything because I was black. She was scared I was going to come back after hours and rob the place. So they led me to the place. It was like way in the back like in the back. That's all I could say. When I got back there, they had a showcase, and they had glass where mannequins were standing inside the glass, locked glass with the furs on, right? And you had it was all types of furs you could ever think of. So I guess we gotta say animals, because that's where the fur come from. So it was all kind of animals that I would have never thought of. But the only animal that I was looking for was a fox. I think it was a fox, right? So they had a beer, you know. So the lady actually said, "What kind of fur you want?" I said, "Well, I've always wanted a fox." So she said, "A fox, really?" I said, "Yeah." So she came out with, she said, "You want it short or long?" I said, "I would like it long." So I don't know, maybe my personality. This is the helper. This is not the person where I gotta exchange the money to. This is the helper. So maybe my personality kind of like softened her up, because actually she was a nice girl. She was very funny, and I had her cracking up. So we both was laughing at each other's jokes. So she loosened up with me, and then she started giving me advice about what coat to get. So she told me, she said, "Don't get a long fox coat." She said, "If you're going to get a long coat, if you want a long coat, a long fur," she said, "get a mink." I said, "A mink?" She said, "Yes." She said, "A mink is the move for now." She said, "Let's go back to the fox." She said, "If you want a fox," she said, "get a short fox." I said, "Short?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Hold up, I'll be right back." She went in the back. She probably stayed about a minute or two. She came back with this pretty fox coat. It was, now, if you know what a fox looked like, that's what the coat looked like. And it had some white coming like this way, coming down in the front. But the whole back of the the whole back of the coat, the sleeves kind of like puffed up. It kind of like was big, and I don't know. It was a short coat. It was kind of big for me, because it do come in sizes. But she told me, she said, "Don't get a small one." She said, "If you want to really feel the," how she said it, "the fullness of it," she said, "at least get a medium," or something like that. So she went back in the back, and she went to go see if she can get a small. I told her, I said, "Yeah, I understand, but my body is small, so I don't want nothing overwhelming me." I said I would prefer a small. So she said, "All right, let me go check." So she went back in the back. She looked, stayed for about a minute, too. She came back. She said, "I'm sorry, we only got a large." And that was the one she brought out. She said, "If you like," she said, "you can wait, and I can check some places for you." She said, "Or you can come back tomorrow, and I'll let you know." No, she said, "Come back in 2 days or so, and I'll have a small for you." No, I wanted my stuff right then and there. I wasn't coming back no time. Because I know me, I'll be done. See, back then I couldn't hold money. Money went through me like water. So I said, no, it's okay. So I tried on that. If it was big, but it was comfortable big. It was like being in a teddy bear. So when I put it on, it was like, I don't know, it gave me that elegant look. I felt so rich, right? So she was telling me it looked nice. It looked real nice. So I bought that. I told her, I said, "Okay, I want that." She said, "So what about the mink? The mink could could be your long coat." She said, "You ain't got to get it now." I said, no. I said, "Whatever I try on, if I like it, I'm buying it." She said, we do layaway. I said, "Nope, I ain't doing no layaway. I ain't doing no finance." I said, "I got the money. You know, I don't think I told the men when I brought the furniture, but I told her. I said, nope. I said, my dad passed away. I inherited his money. I said, and this is something that I always wanted. I said, and that's what I'm going to do with his money. I'm going to buy the things that I wanted, you know. And it wasn't like stupid stuff, you know. I fixed my apartment up. I got carpet on my floor, you know. I spent the money. I did. I spent it right. So I have no regrets. I just wish I knew now what I knew. I wish I knew then what I know now, and I would still have money. But anyway, so she said, so I explained to her what it was. She said, oh, okay, all right. So she wanted to know what type of work my father did. I said he worked for the city. I said he didn't have no extravagance job. He didn't get no inheritance. He worked for his money, you know. And unfortunately he died right after he retired. Yeah, my father. My father died February. What comes in February? Valentine's Day. He died on Valentine's Day. He retired that Friday and he died that Tuesday. So I said, so whatever it is, I'm buying it now. I ain't putting nothing on no layaway, because if I put on layaway, I ain't coming back. She said, all right. She said, let me go get this mink and let you see it. So she came out with that mink. She said, try it on. I tried it on. Child, I was thinking about them movies where people go to their boyfriend's house with no clothes on but the fur coat. I said, now I see why people don't wear no clothes underneath this coat. Because it was just something about how it felt. You know, you don't want nothing else touching that. You don't want no clothing touching it. If you wear anything under it, it'll be your underclothes. So now, with that being said, let's get to the nitty gritty of it so I can go. So now I want to buy it. So now she has to go in the back to where the money is exchanged to and talk to her supervisor. She back there for a minute or two. Supervisor come out and shake my hand. Hello, Miss Jordan. My colleague here tells me, let's say her name was Jane. My colleague Jane here tells me that you want to purchase these two coats. You know that it's over $5,000. Yes, ma'am, I understand that. She's telling me you don't want to take layaway or nothing or finance. You know, I don't mind seeing if you can get no, ma'am, I appreciate it, but I just want to pay for everything. You know what the finance was for, because she knew I wasn't going to get no finance. She knew I wasn't going to get no credit. I'm black. I knew my color. That's the problem. People always trying to remind us of our color by treating us bad. We know what color we are. You ain't got to keep telling us, acting all foolish towards us. Because we black, what's the problem? What's the problem? Our color intimidate y'all? Let me stop. Okay, so I said, yes, ma'am, I understand. I said, but I appreciate it. I said, but I just want to buy everything and go home, right? This lady must be had me in that store for 10 hours, hypothetically speaking. She said, all right, well, you have your ID? Yes. Do you work? Yes, I do. May I have your job ID? Yes. I don't know what all that was for, but I just wanted my coats. So if they would have asked for my shoe, I would have took it off. I cracked myself up. I'm sorry. Okay, I told you I'm tired. When I get tired, I start acting crazy. Silly, let me put it that way. So, she went in the back with my ID. She told me how much it was. I wrote the check out. I think it must have came out to about $6,000 with tax. Because they charge like $100, $200, $300 for taxes. Oh my God, that don't make no sense. I can imagine what taxes is now if you go buy something for $2,000. You're probably paying $8,000 in tax. Okay. So I wrote the check out, gave it to her. Gave her my ID, gave her my job ID, gave her my shoe, gave her my toe, gave her my tongue. And stop. Okay. All right, let me tell the story. So she went back in the back. She stayed back there for God knows how long. The lady that was working with her, I ain't seen no more. I don't know. I don't know what they was planning back there. But I guess she kept her back there so she wouldn't come and tell me nothing. So they probably, I'm thinking while I was saying, I said, they really want me to get frustrated. That's what I think. I think the lady wanted me to get so frustrated with her that I would be like, excuse me, ma'am, never mind, because they did not want to part with that fur. So not only was it prejudice, so the prejudice came in because I wanted to buy a fur and I had the money to pay for it. As far as the blackness coming in at, that came into play with writing the check. So when I wrote the check, when I told them that I was going to pay, that's when I saw their faces. And they said it was $6,000. I was like, okay, no problem. I went in my bag, pull out a check. Oh, you going to... What you thought I had? What you thought I was walking around with that cash in my hand? No, dear. They probably would have gave me, they probably would have called a security or something to check the dollar bills. People crazy. That's why I say y'all have no idea what we go through. If it had been any other culture, they could have walked in there and they would have said $6,000. They would have got some kind of discount. They probably would only have to pay $3,000. Right? Gave them their little credit card and it wouldn't have been no problem. Wrote out a check. It wouldn't be, here you are. Thank you. Okay. You can take your merchandise. Wouldn't have been no 2 to 3 days or a week for it to clear. Because of the color of the skin. Color of the skin makes the difference. Just like you have a piece of paper and it has a picture on it and you got a box of crayons. And you pick the colors to color your picture. That's all they see. They see only black with us. And black people don't have nothing in some people's mind. Black people don't have nothing. Black people don't deserve nothing. They consider as animals. I don't know where they get that from. I don't understand where people think black people as animals. If anything, they're animals for them to think that we are. Because don't animals know animals? Right? I'm not saying that black folks is animals. I'm saying that the people that think we animals, they must be animals in order to think we one. How dare you? So this lady had me waiting. I must have stayed there. I had to stay there for about 3 hours, 4 hours. And they was actually clearing that check. They was waiting to clear that check. Since I was paying in cash, they couldn't take the check and hold the check and say, all right, you can come back tomorrow. No, they couldn't take my check like that. Right? The same way with Jennifer Convertibles. The man couldn't take my check. He either had to tell me, well, he couldn't even tell me no. You see what I'm saying? Because I had the money. And I could have sued him for discrimination of my color, that you ain't want to give me no furniture. So they had me waiting. Finally, the lady came out with the receipt. She had she put the coats inside the plastic and all this stuff. And said, Miss Jordan, we appreciate you waiting and we're so sorry. When they realized see the thing with them, when they realized I had the money, they wanted me to buy more stuff. You don't want no bag to go with it. I said, no, ma'am. This is good enough. All right, do come back again. I think I did. Yeah, I did come back. I got the fox. I got the mink. And I got, I think, a beer. I went in there. I told him I wanted a beer. That's so crazy, right? You go to a fur coat place and they ask you what kind of coat you want. Oh, you give me a bear. You give me a raccoon. You call a coat by the animal name. So I was like, I think I want a beer. Oh, you want a beer? Oh, we got so many nice beers. I mean, I'm laughing now. So I just wanted to tell you all that because I was listening to the video of, what was the name of it? Black Folks Are So Emotional. So this is video 2. We is not emotional. Hello, we're not emotional. We just states our opinion. We just don't play. All right, I'm going to bed because y'all see I'm tired. So I did get my coat, but those are examples. I think those are the only time I encounter racism. No, there was another time. Me and my daughter went. Where was we? We was, wow. We had went. I don't know. I can't remember where this is, where it was, but the store was further down from where we normally walked in our neighborhood. So we was coming through to get to our neighborhood. And we saw this pizzeria. So me and my daughter walked in there. I sent up to the thing to get the pizza. And she made the order. Well, she was trying to make the order. And they wasn't paying on no mind. So I wasn't thinking nothing at first. So I was just standing there. And I was, whatever I was doing. And then I noticed she was there for a little bit oddly too long. So then I put my attention to what was going on. And she was standing there. So I asked her, I said, did you make the order? And she was like, no. So the people, the waiting people that take your order saw her. So I walked over, I said, did y'all get did y'all get her order? And the guy was like, no. And he wouldn't look at me, but he'd look and go like that. No. And there was like, I don't know, there was like a Mexican guy there. He was like the one that cooked the food. And the way he was looking at me, it was like I could read what he was saying. And he was saying that they not going to serve you. And then I caught on to it. And then I started paying attention to all the people in the store. And I noticed that they all was looking at us. And I noticed that there were no black people in there. There was Mexican in there, yes, but there was no black people. So then I said to I was like, wait a minute. No, they not. They not going to do this to me. You know? I got to see what people felt like back then and when they was being discriminated and segregated and stuff like that. So I said to the person, I said, yes, my daughter would like a pizza and I would like to have a knish. No. I said, no. I'm laughing now. Because I'm actually remembering it. And I'm seeing that sounded so crazy. And he just said it like, as if he was saying, you asking for a dime. And he said, no. I said, can I get a slice? No. Can I get my knish at least? No. Can she get a slice? No. I said, really? I said, y'all not gonna serve us? I said, y'all really like this? See, this is why people think we're emotional. That's why we get emotional. But I didn't act up because I was with my daughter and I didn't want her to really know what was really happening at the time. So she was looking up at me and I was like, it's okay, baby. I said, come on, we're going to go to another store. And I turned around and looked at him. And the guy was looking at me. I looked at the Mexican man. He kind of like raised up his eyebrows like, I'm so sorry. He couldn't do nothing because all he did was make the food. And if they didn't tell him to make it, he couldn't make it. I was like, wow. So that was the first time I ever, and the last time, apart from the clothing, the Jennifer convertibles, which dealt with money, and the fur dealt with me being black. They both was a black issue thing, but, you know, it wasn't too much racism going on there. That racism was in that food when they really didn't serve me. And when I came out and I paid attention to the neighborhood, to the area where I was, I noticed that, I mean, you can go someplace where nothing but white people, but, you know, that's because it's a money thing, you know. It's an area where you got money, that's where you live, you know. But this was an area where you could actually feel that they did not like us. And they could have jumped us or took us in the corner somewhere on the back alley and killed us. That's the vibe I was getting there. So I was like, all right, come on, baby, let's cross the line. It was like we was on one side of the street and the other side of the street was for the black folks. When I say the black folks, I mean it was a normal way of living. That part gave me the feeling of living in Alabama or something. So that was the only time that I encountered those situations. If anyone that comes across this video and you have encountered any type of racism, whether you're black, white, blue, green, any type of racism due to the color of your skin, comment below. Tell me the story. I would love to hear it, read it. And if you got a video of it, enclose your video so I can see it. Until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.